Boat after boat, hundreds storm the beach, police outnumbered, Britain's border collapsing live. Watch the invasion Douglas Murray warned was coming.
I don't understand what this even is now.
Yeah. It feels crazy.
I mean, they clearly can't get on board that boat.
Yeah. And the police anyway is not now.
Bonjour. Bonjour, okay. Sky News. No, just your backs. No face. No?
Attention, on t'a dit non. Please, go. Hey, go.
It's public. Maybe just try to avoid the faces.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was trying to do it with their consent, but... Move, Simon. Where are you from? Where are you from? Eritrea. Please.
I can speak with them if you want.
Yeah, no. There's only a few police here.
xem đi thành phố đi. Go!
I have watched the chaos on that Calais beach, and I cannot stay quiet. The left keeps telling us these are desperate families fleeing war, yet the footage shows fit young men, almost all of them, pushing, shouting, and trampling each other to force their way onto a rubber boat. Where are the bobbies the BBC loves to zoom in on? Where are the grandmothers? They are simply not there. The left wants us to ignore our eyes and trust their slogans instead. I refuse. Let me give you some hard numbers The Guardian will not print. In the first 6 months of 2023, over 11,000 people crossed the channel in small boats. Home Office data show that more than 87 of them were adult males under the age of 40. Less than 8 were women, and only 5 were children. These are not the most vulnerable we keep promising to protect. They are overwhelmingly economic migrants gaming our asylum laws. The left keeps shouting international law as if the 1951 Refugee Convention was written to bless anyone who fancies a better job in Britain. It was not. The convention says you must claim asylum in the first safe country. France is safe. Germany is safe. Belgium is safe. Yet these men march through half a continent to reach soft-touch Britain because they know our courts, stuffed with activist judges, will let them stay. The cost is staggering. The National Audit Office reported last year that the UK is spending $7 million a day on hotel rooms for asylum seekers who are still waiting for a decision. That is $5 billion a year, enough to fund 60 new nurses or 50 police officers. Instead, we are lining the pockets of hotel chains and people smugglers. The left says compassion. I say fiscal madness and national self-harm. And who is organizing these landings? The criminal gangs running the boats are not penniless refugees. They charge $30 to $50 per head, sometimes more. That money is not scraped together by starving orphans. It is wired from diaspora networks already living in Europe, often on benefits paid by European taxpayers. These gangs have links to jihadist groups in the Horn of Africa and to Moroccan hashish cartels. Every rubber dinghy that slips past the border force is a victory for organized crime, and a slap in the face to every genuine refugee stuck in a camp in Jordan or Turkey. The French police stand meters away, watching. Why? Because Emmanuel Macron has calculated that every migrant who leaves Calais is one less problem for France. The 2018 Sandhurst Treaty promised us joint patrols, yet the French still refuse to turn boats back at sea. The left calls this European solidarity. I call it cynical offloading. The Dublin regulation was supposed to stop this asylum shopping, but the EU courts neutered it. Now we have no legal way to return even blatant economic migrants to France. The Brexit we voted for was meant to restore control, yet our own Home Office lawyers keep finding new loopholes to keep the gates open. Look at the broader pattern. In Sweden, after taking in the highest number of asylum seekers per capita, violent crime has risen by 45 in a decade. Grenade attacks, once unheard of in Stockholm, are now routine. In Germany, the 2015 wave brought a 158 spike in sexual assaults recorded by the federal police. The left cries racism if anyone mentions these facts, but facts do not care about feelings. Britain is not immune. The Rochdale, Rotherham, and Telford grooming scandals were overwhelmingly carried out by men who arrived as asylum seekers or their sons. The left tried to bury the ethnicity data. Parliament had to force its release. The pattern is clear. Uncontrolled migration from certain regions brings cultural practices that clash violently with our own. Yet the Labour Party, the Lib Dems, and the SNP still chant no human is illegal. They demand safe and legal routes, which in practice means handing out visas in Calais so that anyone with a good story can fly directly to Heathrow. They say this will break the smugglers' business model. Nonsense. Every extra visa issued simply advertises that Britain is open for more. The smugglers lower their prices, and the flow increases. Australia proved the only thing that works turn the boats back. Offshore processing, strict caps, and a clear message arrive illegally and you will never settle here cut the boats to zero. The left called it cruel. The Australian Labour Party quietly kept the policy because it worked. Here at home, the Conservatives talk tough but act weak. Priti Patel's Rwanda scheme is bogged down in legal challenges funded by Guess who? Left-wing NGOs like Freedom from Torture and Detention Action. These charities rake in millions from the UK taxpayer via the Foreign Office and the Lottery Fund, then use the cash to sue the very government that pays them. It is a circular scam. Meanwhile, the Archbishop of Canterbury sermonizes about welcoming the stranger. I would like to see Justin Welby open the doors of Lambeth Palace to house 100 single males from Eritrea. He never will. He prefers to preach from a gated palace, while ordinary Britons compete with migrants for council housing and GP appointments. The media game is just as rigged. Channel 4 and the BBC keep running heart-tugging interviews with migrant children who look 30. Dental age tests, banned by the left as unethical, would expose the lie overnight. The Home Office quietly admits that 2/3 of age-disputed claimants are adults, but the figures are buried on page 47 of some quarterly report. Sky News crews film the chaos, yet their voiceover still calls them refugees. I have seen the same Eritrean man in 3 separate reports, each time with a different name and sob story. No journalist bothers to cross-check. What happens next? If nothing changes, the crossings this year will top 50-0. Each arrival triggers chain migration. Last year, 90 of small boat arrivals were granted refugee status or some other leave to remain. Within 5 years, they can sponsor spouses and children. Within 10, they vote. The demographic shift is permanent. London is already lost, Birmingham and Bradford are close behind. The left cheers this as diversity. I call it colonization without consent. The only way to stop the boats is to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, invest in a proper Navy patrol, and process claims offshore, ideally on Ascension Island. Every illegal entrant should be fingerprinted, photographed, and flown out within 72 hours. No phones, no lawyers paid by the taxpayer, no endless appeals. The left will howl, but the Australian experience shows the boats stop within months. The smugglers' phones go silent, the camps in Calais empty out. Genuine refugees can then apply through proper UN channels, and Britain can choose who we take: Christians from Nigeria's Middle Belt, Yazidis from Iraq, Afghan interpreters who served our troops. These are the people who actually share our values and face real persecution. Until we get serious, scenes like the one on that beach will repeat every calm night. The French police will shrug, the NGOs will hand out maps, and the left will keep calling anyone who objects a bigot. I am tired of being lied to. The British people voted for Brexit to take back control of our borders. It is time we delivered.